Chapter 1. The Unimaginable. It was a normal Sunday in 1997 for the Whitley family, a day like any other filled with simplicity and togetherness. Julie Whitley, her husband Andy, and their young son Landon had just left church, a cherished part of their weekend routine. The golden sunlight filtered through the car windows as they drove home, blissfully unaware of the impending tragedy that would forever change their lives. In an instant, their peaceful drive was shattered. A speeding ambulance collided with their car at an intersection, sending it spinning out of control. The sounds of crunching metal and breaking glass pierced the air. When the wreckage finally came to a stop, silence fell over the scene, broken only by the distant wail of sirens. Andy died on impact. Julie, gravely injured, was trapped in the mangled car. First responders frantically worked to rescue her, but their concern quickly turned to Landon, who lay unconscious in the back seat. He wasn't breathing. Chapter 2. Declared dead. Landon's body was rushed to the hospital. His condition was critical. Despite the paramedics' efforts, his heart stopped. He was declared clinically dead for the first time. Doctors fought to revive him, and miraculously, they succeeded. But this was only the beginning. Twice more, Landon flatlined. Twice more, he was declared dead. Each time, the medical team brought him back, but barely. His small body teetered on the edge of life and death, as if an invisible force was pulling him between two worlds. Julie, reeling from the loss of her husband and clinging to her own fragile life, prayed desperately for her son. "Please, God," she whispered, "don't take him too." Doctors warned Julie that even if Landon survived, the likelihood of severe brain damage was high. They braced her for a grim reality. The boy she knew might never return. Chapter 3. Between Two Worlds. As Landon lay in a coma, tethered to machines that kept him alive, his spirit drifted somewhere else entirely. Later, he would describe this place as more real than anything he had ever experienced. He found himself in a realm of indescribable beauty and peace. Roads paved with gold glowed with an otherworldly light. The air itself seemed to hum with love and serenity. Figures bathed in golden light surrounded him, family members he had never met, including two small children who smiled warmly at him. Landon didn't understand who they were at first, but he felt an unshakable connection to them. When he returned to consciousness, Landon would learn a startling truth. These were his siblings, lost to miscarriages before he was born, something his parents had never told him. Chapter 4. Meeting Jesus. Amid the radiant light, a figure appeared unlike any other. His presence filled Landon with awe and reverence. It was Jesus. Without words, Jesus communicated directly to Landon's soul, radiating love that dissolved all fear and pain. "It's not your time," Jesus told him. "You have a mission. You must go back and share what you've seen. Let people know heaven is real." Although Landon felt an overwhelming sense of peace in this divine realm, he understood he had to return. The vision faded, and he felt himself pulled back through a tunnel of light, his consciousness returning to his broken body. Chapter 5. A Miraculous Return. Weeks after the accident, Landon opened his eyes. To the astonishment of the medical team, he was coherent, speaking, and fully aware. The doctors had feared brain damage, but Landon defied every prediction. His recovery stunned everyone. He began to recount his experience, describing in vivid detail the golden roads, angelic figures, and the overwhelming peace he felt in heaven. When he spoke of meeting his siblings, Julie was overcome with emotion. She had never shared her painful secret about the miscarriages with Landon. How could he possibly have known? Chapter 6. Sharing the Message. As Landon recovered, he began sharing the message Jesus had given him. Heaven is real, and life continues beyond death. He spoke with wisdom and conviction far beyond his years, describing his journey with a clarity that left listeners spellbound. His story spread quickly. Churches and community groups invited him to speak, and people from all walks of life came to hear his testimony. Many found comfort in his words, especially those grieving the loss of loved ones. Landon's experiences offered them hope that death is not the end. Chapter 7. Faith and Doubt. Not everyone believed Landon's story. Skeptics dismissed his visions as hallucinations, a product of a brain deprived of oxygen. They pointed to scientific explanations for near-death experiences, arguing that Landon's account was nothing more than his mind's way of coping with trauma. But Landon's unwavering certainty and the details he shared, details he could not have known, left even some skeptics questioning their doubts. Julie, too, wrestled with complex emotions. She was grateful for her son's survival, but grieved deeply for her husband. She couldn't understand why God had spared Landon but taken Andy. Over time, her perspective shifted. Landon's words about the love and peace of heaven brought her comfort. She began to believe that Andy was at peace, just as Landon described. Chapter 8. A New Purpose. Landon's physical recovery was long and grueling, marked by surgeries and physical therapy. Yet through it all, he carried a quiet strength, rooted in his profound experience. He embraced his mission, sharing his story with as many people as possible, driven by a sense of purpose far beyond his years. He spoke not only of heaven, but of hope, faith, and the power of love. His message resonated with those who heard it, bringing light to those in darkness. Landon had returned from the brink of death not just to live, but to inspire others to believe in something greater. Let us know your thoughts as we navigate these fascinating mysteries together. Enjoyed the video? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.